music coming through speakers and shit, fucking up all my audio and stuff. You guys have no power. No power. Plenty of fucking brick in there. Where did I park my car? Does anyone see my car? Car, where are you here? Car. Oh, hey, there it is. Found the car. Damn thing blends into everything else. Especially when the factory gets so goddamn big. So goddamn big. There's so much stuff here. Whoa, dodging stuff. Oh, hey, don't mind that little building right there. We'll go over that in a second. Stupid drone, get back in the vehicle. Oh! Ow! Who put that wall there? Why is it even there? What is the purpose? Who built this? Oh my god, that's a lot of electric engines. Why were you not limited? Okay, so, what we have to do today, or what we are going to do today, is discover why we have all the stuff we need to do for the next few days. Let's grab all these electromechanical engines here. And let us plop down... Get these power poles out of the way, they don't need to be here. Let us plop down the next big building. The rocket silo. Did you see how much my inventory emptied? Oh, I needed fucking 90 pipes to make that thing? Oh, fuck you, game. Also, you'll notice this flurry of activity going on right here with all the drones flying around and such. This is, I just added this between episodes. It's nothing major. It's just to produce the speed module 3s. Okay? These are the end game things that you throw in machines to make them run faster. It also produces productivity modules, which not quite as useful as speed module 3s, but will become a necessity later. We'll get on to something else down here in a second. First thing first, though, we need to figure out why we need to do this stuff. And I think we're going to build this this rocket silo to launch the end game condition, the end game rocket into space, right about here. I'm trying to talk to take up time while it's building. Look how long it takes to frickin' build. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Just, don't mind me, I'm just being funny. What, jokes? Never mind, don't need it. Don't need it, where'd it go? Oh shit, fill time. There it is. Rocket silo, look at that beast. Look at that monster. Wow, you can zoom in really far. Holy shit. Look at that thing, rocket silo. Rocket silo. It's big. It's the biggest building in the game, I think. Yeah, minus mods, yeah, it's the biggest building in the game. Pretty cool. Where do we want to slap this biznitch down? Thinking we run everything backwards on the bus for this guy. Yeah, just because I don't know exactly how I want to do him. So we're going to backwards bus this guy. Let's scoot him up a little bit, just a titty bit, and we'll put him right next to the walkway there. You see that walkway? Yeah, it's almost like I built it for him. I built a little walkway for him. Also, really fast with those exoskeletons. If you can't tell a difference, I guess if you haven't watched these episodes back to back, this is significantly faster than I was when we first started this. Okay, so the rocket silo needs components. It's like an assembler, right? It takes components and builds progress towards launching the rocket. The rocket being like another item, except that instead of extracting this item, you just launch it into space. What it returns with that rocket, though, is white science. Now, I don't know if white science is in here. No, white science is not in this list. And the only way to get it is launching the rocket. So, we have to launch rockets to get white science. Why do we want white science? Well, you'll notice my research tree is just damn near empty. These are the unlimited research skills, traits, whatever. Research technologies. Hey, top left, technologies. Things like worker robot speed. You can increase this indefinitely. The cost of it, you'll see it's 1,000 to do it the first time, goes up every time that you do it, and they all require the white science in order to do. These are all the unlimited researches, like artillery range, artillery shooting speed, turret damage, mining productivity. That'll be the bigger one towards the end game. Robot follower count for your combat drones. All this is like the end game stuff, the things that you kind of need to build your factory a whole lot bigger, especially this worker robot speed one. It's a big deal for a number of reasons, mainly because you can cover much, much larger distances with them. It requires less bots to do work. But that's no fun. Let's talk about this thing. So it requires a few components. It requires low density structure, rocket control unit, and rocket fuel. Now we've got rocket fuel. That's over there in the oil production. So technically, we could just, assuming we have drone coverage here, we could just throw down a requester chest, say like right here. Oh, right inside the drone coverage range. Nice. And just do something like this. And just have this request, do I have any rocket fuel on me? I don't. Have this just request rocket fuel. Like so. Say make it request 200. They do stacks of 10. Request 100. I'll request from buffers too. So then this chest will always have 100 rocket fuel in it. And because my oil production is set up in such a way, we should always have rocket fuel, I hope. that's a big hope because I'm not entirely sure if we will always have rocket fuel. So we'll power that bad boy. Okay, that takes care of one of our necessities there, rocket fuel. Now we got to look at low density structure and rocket control unit. Let's start with low density structure and see exactly what that requires to make. Now, I don't recall. There it is, okay. 5 plastic, 10 steel, and 5 copper. On the whole, that seems fine. I mean, that's not really a very expensive building. I mean, we're bussing all that. We don't need to build any intermediate products. So it takes 30 to craft one of these. Okay. So here's where we set the speed for this. Now these also take 30 to craft. So if this takes 30 to craft and the rocket control unit being the other thing that we need there take 30 to craft, we could just simply go 1-to-1 with the items. Yeah, assuming we have correct input. Okay, so we can go 1-to-1. Let's, I'm not going to bring the bus out. Well, yes I am. I'm going to bring this bus out a little bit. So we don't need steel for this. For any of these components, we don't need steel. Except for the satellite, which we'll get onto that in a minute, don't you worry. You may notice the requirements for some of these things. It gets pretty heavy. Okay. So we don't need steel. We do need, I'm sorry, not steel. We don't need iron, the plates that are on the bus there. We do need the steel on the bottom of the bus there, but not necessarily in large quantities. We need copper. So we'll bring the copper out. Okay, so those are the 3 requirements for building the low-density structure. Let's pull those off the bus and build us, just like we do with the other assemblies, a nice little line of them. We will run production. Instead of running it to the left this time, we're going to run it to the right here. And we're going to do that along a bottom bus line, which goes down here. We'll say about right here for the sake of being nice to things. We'll throw down the first mashy machine right there. Right there. We also got to get plastic up here, I do believe, for the low density structure, if I'm not mistaken. We do indeed. Plastic, iron, steel, copper, we're doing good there. Let's run this line backwards. This is just, you trace these out on the bus so you're not making a nice, huge, messy bus like I was up there. And knowing your hotkeys really helps for something like this. Hopefully we don't do anything stupid here. There we go. There we go. Okay, well that didn't work very well. Stupid lines doing stupid shit. Bring that up here. I probably should skip over my circuit lines so I'm not getting in the way of anything. Bring that all the way up there. Circuit lines being right here. We're going to need those further down. Alright, so there's all the stuff we need for that. Okay, so yeah, that one was easy, right? Throw all of our inserters on that guy, and the output will go right here. It doesn't build very fast, so we don't have to worry too much about the red handle inserters here, being that they are so slow with their swings. It does come into play with some things. Later on, we'll run into that. Okay, so that's that building. We could make any number of these. Initially, let's just throw down the 1. Yeah? Just feeling the 1 for right now, I think. That should be just fine. We'll go through all the stuffs here. Actually, you know what? Can we throw a substation down there so I don't have to power all those inserters? Okay, that's that. That's the 1 there. Okay, now let's take a look at the next required item, which is the rocket control unit. Okay, so we need a blue processing unit. Whoops, sorry. We need a blue processing unit and a speed module 1. Now we have speed module 1s on production for the yellow science over here, you'll notice. So we know what the busing needs to look like. Red and green circuits, sorry. I mean, so the busing is dead simple. That's all they require is just red and green circuits. So we can pretty much ignore the speed module 1s. They have a crafting time of 15, which means that one of those can supply 2 of the production machines for the rocket control unit. Uh-oh, something got destroyed. Oh god, they're power poles too. Shit, and they're right next to my new kill box as well. No, it still has power. We're okay. We're okay. This is fine. It still has power. I'm glad that they're engaging the kill box actually, and not something stupid. I guess my turret car was right there, or my cannon vehicle. Okay, on to what I was talking about. Speed module is easy. All right, processing unit. This not quite so easy. We've gone over these before. 20 green circuits, 2 red circuits. Now on the surface, boop, easy enough to make, right? Red and green circuits aren't by themselves hard to make. It's the fact that it requires so fucking many of them. With the production that we have right now of red and green circuits, which is here on the bus, we really can't supply a whole lot. This is why I was building this module thing down here with all these drones. Get the fuck out of my way. The modules require just red, green, and blue circuits to make. And I was checking to see what kind of excess I have on those things. And as you can see by my extra speed module, or I'm sorry, extra blue circuit machine here, which is speed module 3, by the way, and beaconed, which we'll talk about later. It takes a shit ton to make even one speed module at any kind of moderate speed. They have a craft time of 10. They require sulfuric acid, which means busting a fluid. And, yeah, a lot of throughput. Heavy throughput item being green circuits. So, knowing that, I guess I can bring my circuits over here, and we can just see what kind of, I don't know, ability we have to make that kind of stuff. Remembering that my factory right now, I don't know if you can tell, is not researching anything. It's loaded up on every single science. My science buffer chests are all completely full, so none of my sciences are operating. You see that right there? All the science lines are full. That's because I've been off doing all of this shit, all of this support stuff that we're gonna need. Oh, I took an oil patch over here. I found an oil patch. If I didn't note that before, there you go. Found an oil patch, picked that up, put a 2.8 train on it. Yeah, it's nice. Super nice to finally have that. Where is that train? There it is. Look at that. Yeah, I know it's a map view, but I feel like a map view can kind of tell you more about it than just the other view. Look at that thing. Look at this oil production area. Does this mean anything to anyone? It means something to me because I built it. So I mean, you know, I know what all that stuff is, but fucking, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's stay focused. Razor-like focus. Can I remove that? I can. Let's bring these circuits over here and see what kind of production we can do without having any science running whatsoever, which is completely unrealistic as far as a I don't know, a production standpoint is concerned. We're never not going to have sciences running. And now I'm realizing I shouldn't have put these power poles where I did because they're in the bad spot. Get out of the way. Power poles, pretty please. Just set these back where they're not in the way. There we go. Okay. So there's a long way of me saying that I have an excess of red and green circuits right now. I have enough to supply this line, I think. Mind. So, we have to treat the rocket control unit as its own little necessity for this. We have to treat the speed module and the processing units as their own little things, because, as you can see, I've got the same production right here. Speed modules and processing units right here. And you remember how much of a pain in the ass? Well, you probably don't remember how much of a pain in the ass. This setup right here, in and of itself, is the majority of the consumption of materials for my base. It's a small base, granted, but most of the production goes into this. The ratios, are they similar? Let's take a look at this here and just see if the ratios are similar. No. So, okay, so the blue circuits on this are much higher. It's 3-to-1, blue circuits being the higher one on that, and these are just 1-to-1. Okay, what's the production time on blue circuits? 10. Speed modules is 15. We can break it down. Oh, wow. Why is this math difficult? Is this actually a difficult piece of math and I'm just kind of an idiot? Or I'm an idiot and it's an easy piece of math? So these take 10 seconds to make, these take 15 seconds to make, these being, you know, I'm sorry, I'm hovering stuff. I know it's hard to tell what I'm talking about sometimes. Bear with me here. I'm going to try and work this out with you guys. Normally I cut this shit out, but let's try and figure it out here. So if we break down the time interval to 30 seconds, okay? 30 seconds, the speed modules produce 2. The blue circuits, 1 machine mind, create 3. So we have, if we put in an extra speed module machine, it will create 4, and this will still make 3. So the trick is to find 2 numbers that match in any given time interval. Match as far as production is concerned. Now that might be easier than it seems, and I've said that like 4 times, but I'm stupid. So let's go with the one that's odd here. So this creates in 3s, this is in 2s. 2s and 3s, what's the common number there? 6. 6? 6 the common number? 3, so doubling of the speed module 1s. No, tripling, because it only makes 2. Tripling of the speed module 1s will create 6 of them. And doubling of the blue circuits. Okay, so 2 of these to 3 of these. Is that right? Also, why is there no pipe here? How long has that had no pipe there? What? Why did I not notice that before? Where are all my pipes? Why don't I have any pipes? How do I not have any pipes? What is the world coming to where I don't have any friggin' pipes? A little ridiculous. Alright, hold on. Wait. There. Hey! That thing wasn't working the entire game. Look at products finished. 0. 3-2. Yeah? 3 of these, 2 of those? 3 of these? So in 30 seconds, this creates 6. And in 30 seconds, 2 of these creates 6. Yes. 3-2. 3-2. We have our number. 3-2. That took entirely too much fucking effort to figure out. Oh my god. Okay. 3-2. Should we make sure we don't forget that? I don't think I'm gonna forget that, but that's fine. Oh, and we just need, all we need is the red and the red and green circuits. That's all we need for either of these, because, you know, this line here. 3-2. 3-2. So, knowing that we only need the red green circuits, I'm going to back this off just a touch and bring it up a little bit. So we go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and put a little space there so we can put our piping in there. Actually, we'll scoot this one up a little bit too. 3 to 2. That is that. So you guys are producing speed modules, and you guys are producing blue circuits. I hope that made sense to somebody, because, or I hope that I'm right too, because, you know, if I'm not, that'd make me look pretty dumb, wouldn't it? I could rebuild this, and I probably will not rebuild this, because I have it right here. Oh, look at that blueprint. That's something. We know it's 3 to 2. It's already built right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and just grab this thing here, and it should just stamp right over this guy, I hope. It will, but we have no output. Now we have an output. We can output to the left side on this one. That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. You don't go in there, though. There we go. Okay, so that's all the support structure. But I just did that to stamp down the support structure for that thing. Makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to build some more medium power poles, because apparently we're fucking out of medium power poles. Who knew? We will scoot these guys back a touch because they are too far forward. Whoops, that's the same spot. And then we just run our lines here, like that, and like that. I also need to get sulfuric acid over here to this guy right here, because he needs sulfuric acid to produce. Of course you're in the way. Why wouldn't my artillery cannon be exactly in the spot that I need it not to be? That's just car for the horse right there. Car for the horse. Okay, so we don't need plastics this far over. Is there room to bring? Ah, yes, there is. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Good fuck. Good friend. Good friend. There we go. There we go. And thankfully I made some, fuck, I didn't make enough straight pipes. I was gonna say thankfully I made some straight pipes, but you know, it's fucking Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This shit's gotta be difficult. It's always gotta be difficult to do this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Normally you don't get to see, where'd my curvy pipes go? There they are. Normally you don't get to see me, shit, doing this stuff because I fuck stuff up on a regular basis when I'm trying to do it while talking. Yeah, not great. Okay. So you guys have all the requirements to make your necessary components, yes? Yes, 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 yes. Yes, you do. Okay. So we can run this bus to another machine that creates the control modules. Okay? Are we keeping up so far? I hope so. I'm barely keeping up with myself. We should also kind of a stupid way to do this, but you know what, we're gonna have to. Reverse around the tracks, so they're actually, we need to do it the other way. Right? Yeah. Reverse around the tracks so that they're on separate sides, so that the machines are always fed. Just like we did over there. I'm moving my head to point over there, and it's not very obvious what I'm doing. Okay. So that, like that. We'll bring this around, and we will give it a little bit of space, because space is something we have a lot of. And then we will throw down another production machine. Just do it right here. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. Right there. And this will make our, wherever they went, rocket control units. There we are. That's what I was looking for. And one blue inserter and a power pole later, which they are not on my hotbar for whatever reason. Just going to my inventory for everything. Okay. That'll make one of those. And the ratio, okay, so this is 2 to 3, right? 2 to 3 machines. They each produce 6 every 30 seconds. 6 every 30 seconds. Does that make sense? So we can technically, because this only makes 1 every 30 seconds. That's why I use 30 seconds as the common denominator in this stupid fucking long algebraic equation. Jesus. So we'll make 6 of either of those in 30 seconds, given that we have the correct resources to make them, which isn't always guaranteed, but we'll ignore that along with inserter speed for now. So if we make 6 of these in 30 seconds, we can technically have 6 machines producing these rocket control units right here. And it shouldn't be a problem. I say shouldn't, but, you know, we don't work in absolutes here, so, you know what, we're just going to grab this as a blueprint and just stamp it down 6 times. Hit a bit, hit a bit. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6'ems. Okay. So now, like I've said 100 times, that should technically be able to supply that with components. Technically. We have to continue to realize that my base is running, producing absolutely 0 science. So that is going to be a limiting factor here shortly. Run this guy back over here. Oh, look at that. Farfignugan. Nope. Can't run it there because I'm an idiot. These are normally the things that I have to deal with that you guys don't get to see. What fun. What joyous, joyous times we live in where you guys get to see this stupid shit that I have to do. There we go. There we go. And we'll run that up right here. Right here. Like so. Perfect. My inserters are right here. And bingo bango. Okay. So we've got our rocket fuel, we've got our low density structures, and we've got our rocket control units all supplied to this thing. And I'm just noticing I didn't power the inserters on the other side of that, so those aren't going to be working very well, are they? Probably should go ahead and power these guys, make the power poles nice and pretty, because fuck it. There we go, there we go, there we go. Wow, that's a mess of power poles, cool. Okay, so it has all the things it needs to create. Let us, actually, can we put, let me look at the modules here real quick, and I can go, wow, why are you unpowered? That's probably not good. Probably not good at all. Why are you unpowered? Seriously, what the fuck's going on here? Put a power pole right there. Did I like remove a power pole? Why is power an issue? What is happening? Okie dokie. I guess it just had to charge. I have never seen that happen before when I unplug roboports. That roboport's name is Chaz Blackston. What? Okay. Whatever, sure. What was I down there for? Oh, productivity modules, yeah. Give me these guys here, and give me speed modules as well. So, we can, do I have one in my inventory? I do have one in my inventory. Using these here, this is the beacon. Beacon, I'm going to plop him down right there. We will, actually, you know what? I'm not going to plop him right there because then I have to move power poles. Where'd you go, beacon? There you are. We'll move him inside the power pole radius, and you'll notice how much room you have around this rocket silo for beacons. That'll become apparent later. Okay, apparent? That'll become a thing later, important thing later. So this has room for 4 modules. I grabbed productivity 3 modules. If you look down there in the statistics, it adds energy consumption, takes away speed, and gives a productivity bonus. Now, what is a productivity bonus? Well, if you look at this little bar here, I think I can put these in here, I hope. Yes, I can. I don't know if this is the best way to use these, by the way. It's just how I'm going to use them now. You got a second bar now, okay? So once I get a few more rocket control units, it'll start crafting one of the rocket parts, which you need 100 of these in order to launch a rocket. You see we've crafted 3 so far because we're at 3%. You'll see the purple bar goes up as the green bar does. So basically, productivity is at, it should say right out here on the right side there, productivity is at 40%. So basically every 3 crafts, give or take, it's going to create 1 extra rocket part. So that's a free number of components for us, for every 3 crafts. So 30% of this, 40% I guess, if you want to work technical numbers, is free. So we just took away 40% of the cost in parts to make a rocket, a science. 1,000 science is how much it returns actually after it launches the rocket, with the satellite, mind. So the productivity modules are a big deal in things like this because we can go up here to these beacons. Now beacons have 2 slots. And if we read the description there, it transmits effects of modules to nearby friendly units. Yeah, that's pretty neat, huh? Hence the little yellow radius around it. That is the radius in which it affects things around it. Now, beacons can't take productivity modules. I can't put these in here. It won't let me do it. It will take speed module 3s though. The effect that it transmits is only 50%. In this case, it's 50% speed and 50% of the effect of speed on this thing here. Because if you look at these guys right here, speed plus 50%, I've got 2 of them in here, so it should be speed plus 100%, but it's not. Because having a beacon on something halves the effect of the modules you place in the beacon. A drawback, but not necessarily one that can't be overcome. It's something that you kind of necessary for balancing the game. So, that's a whole long way of me saying that now this thing right here, with the negative effects of the productivity modules, which you remember are speed minus 15% per piece. So each one of these subtracts 15% speed. So it's losing 60% of its speed right now. With the extra 50% speed here, means that it levels out at negative 10% speed on this. Now, you'll notice there's tons of room around the outside of this thing. So technically, if we wanted to, we could just surround this thing with beacons, or damn near surround this thing with beacons, and make it stupidly fast. You could make this thing produce dumb quick. However, you'll notice that we're not producing nearly enough components to do that. Not even close, actually. And we should be waiting on low-density structures. We are indeed waiting on low-density structures. So, crafting time on this is the same as it is for the control modules there, correct? So we can just make 6 of these bad mammer jammers. And that should even us out numbers-wise for the components, I think. So we'll just do the same thing we did before. Just grab a little blueprint. A little blueprint. Hello, blueprint. And we'll just slap him down 5 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And probably should put some power poles in there too, just for, you know, making it run's sake. There. Okay. So now, we should be even numbers as far as production is concerned for items that are needed to launch the rocket. But there is that other requirement. The satellite. Now, the satellite. Oh boy. Let's look at that for a second. You only need 1 of these per launch. So, it requires 100 of the blue processing units, spendy, 100 low-density structures, 50 rocket fuel. The low-density structure and the rocket fuel are kind of a non-start, doesn't matter. 100 solar panels, and 100 accumulators. The radars, it requires 5, also a non-start, doesn't matter. The solar panels and the accumulators, however, whew, those are expensive. Let's look at what it costs to make a solar panel here. Solar panels are 5 copper, 5 steel, and 15 electronic circuits. Bear in mind, it takes, look at that again, it takes 100 of them. 100. So you need 1,500 green circuits to make one of these things. Just for the solar panels. Now, that doesn't include the 20 per blue processing unit. Okay? So you're talking like 3,500 just in the processing units and the solar panels. Now let's look at accumulators. What do accumulators require? Oh, gonna find them. Not gonna cut. I'm not gonna cut. I'm gonna find these fucking things. Where are they at? There they are. Right there. So those only require batteries and iron plates. Again, a non-start. Oil product, batteries. We might have to up our battery production, but not really a big deal. Being 500 batteries, that's easy. That's cakewalk. So accumulators really don't matter too terribly much. And notably, it's the only iron consumption in the entire thing, isn't it? Aside from steel, obviously. Yeah, that's weird. Huh. Who'da thunk it? Who'da thunk it? So, you see the cost. Green circuits are going to be the currency that we need to create. Green circuits are like the new iron plates. You bust 4 rows of iron plates because most of your sciences require a lot of iron plates. When you get to the white science, the rocket science, you start to require a lot of green circuits, red circuits, and blue circuits. Now, this factory here is kind of limited, right? Because I'm on this main bus, I can only push so many circuits along this bus. And you'll see how many I'm getting out right here. And this is with production completely backed up, and my green circuits are still flowing through here like crazy, right? Which most of them are probably going in down here to these guys, if I had to guess. Indeed they are. So that's like a quarter row, maybe less. Quarter row, maybe less of blue belt of green circuits just to produce enough for the rocket control units, right? And that's not necessarily a good amount. I mean, this isn't going too terribly fast. I mean, it's only at 10% right now, and we haven't even considered making the satellite yet. So this doesn't go fast. This is not a fast science because it returns 1,000 science every time it launches a rocket with the satellite. So we need a way, basically, to up our circuit production because there's no way in hell we're going to produce 3,500 circuits in the time it takes to create one of these. I mean, it's just not going to happen. 3,500 being the rough number for how many you need for a satellite anyway. Just from what I did in the math. I might be forgetting a 0. No. Might be out by an order of about 2. But you get the idea. Which brings me on to what we are going to do today. Holy shit, how long have we been recording? Oh my god. Well, that was a long way of me saying here's what we're doing today, huh? Down here, next to my inefficient smelters, I have a chest. What is in my chest here? Oh, it's a whole bunch more smelters. Okay, dokie. Give me all this and all these inserters and underground belts and regular belts. Okay. You might be able to guess by the number of furnaces I'm taking what we're going to do, but in case you can't, so this is the reason we were on such gross overkill for our trains. Okay. So you see the iron train coming in here. It has 6 cars that we can pull from. We only need about 3 rows of that for the base. The bottom lane down here is unnecessary. It's just a way for me to get rid of that mine that's going on over there without wasting resources. Don't mind that bottom smelting array. We'll go over that in a second. Oh, shit. I didn't do what we're going on today. No, we're not going to go over that bottom smelting array. We went over well, yes, I am. I showed you the beacons. This is the effect that beacons produce, right? So this one furnace here, it has a crafting speed of 435%, and it has a productivity module in it. You see how fast that's going? I mean, granted, the line is loaded up, and each one of these has 100 in it, compared to how fast something like this goes, right? So, 4 times the speed. Yeah, you get the idea. So, this only requires, the base itself right now, not including the rocket science, the white science, only requires about 3 rows of iron. 3 blue belts of iron is enough. Enough for the means that we're doing right now, as far as stars are concerned. Same can be said about copper. Now, Copper, most of the copper that we're running into the base right now is going towards green circuit production, which we will cut off because we are going to push all this copper, well, a lot of this copper, up here, along with about half the amount of copper for steel, or for iron, rather. All this going up here, 10 rows of ore going up here to a dedicated circuit production area. Now, you'll notice this is a hell of a lot longer than that beacon setup is down there. That's because the beacon setups are expensive. They're expensive in resources, and mostly they're expensive in circuit resources, which we don't have right now because we don't have a big circuit production up, right? So what we need to do is we need to build us a big-ass circuit production. Well, big might be relative. A decent-sized circuit production up here. So we can supply the circuits necessary to build the rocket, to launch the rocket, to get white science, to get our endgame science. Now, this is by far the most complex science because you have to nearly triple your output of your base. Now, thankfully, I've already built this for you. Oh, by the way, this is a weave setup. As far as circuit smelting is concerned, or as far as ore smelting is concerned, it's real simple. It looks like it might be a little complicated. It's not. Ore runs along the right side here. You'll see that. Those are undergroundy belts, undergroundies, subways. These inserters here pull into the back furnace right here. These inserters here take out of these furnaces. Well, I guess it pulls to both furnaces, these two here. And these two right here pull the plates out and put the plates along the left side. It just essentially repeats that brick of two. So this thing right here repeats. The ore is here, it gets pulled out to both these furnaces, same as here. Ore is here, gets pulled out to both these furnaces, plates here, go along that line. Easy? Yeah, makes sense. It looks complicated from the onset, but it's really not. It's fairly simple. The reason I've got so many of them, though, like I said, beacons are expensive. There's only 20 here. 20 is not enough. I think it's 20 anyway. 20 is not enough to smelt a full blue belt of ore. Not even close, actually. It's more than a half out in proportion. But given what we're going to go into, moduling these and putting in, well, I guess I can show you. Speed module 2s right there. You see, they give the 50% speed bonus, so the crafting speed is now plus 100%. So essentially, you can double the speed of these furnaces if you put speed module 3s in them. So if we double the speed of this entire row of furnaces, it would equal one of the other furnace arrays that we have down there that we've been using this entire game. So apples to pears, you get what I'm saying here. So we have this blueprinted. That's not the right blueprint. That's not even close, actually. Fairly far off. Hello, blueprint. There it is. There's this nice guy. So I'm just going to stamp this thing down. I think I counted this out. Like I said, it's 10 rows of ore. Fantastic. I don't know if I have the supplies for this. Do you want me to do this in real time? I need to make sure I keep the spacing right. You'll notice I have belts there. That's to space out so that later on we'll be able to put beacons in this setup if we need to. How many is that? Oh, did I not put this one down? Did we not decide to put this one down? Is that not happening? There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. We need one more of these guys. Look at all my drones. Man, that's a lot. 10. For every drone port that you have in your inventory, you gain a bonus of, well, let me look. You gain a bonus of being able to use 25 more robots, and it adds charging stations around you. So, like, they have more spots that they can charge when they come back. So, you know, you get the idea. You can have a lot more drones operating at once that way. Do we have enough furnaces? Do we just happen to have enough furnaces? Wow, that's actually really cool. We may not have enough undergroundy belts, and the logistics network does kind of spread up here. A little bit. Not quite enough to make a difference, but that's all right. Yeah, so the 3 wide row that I left in here is so... Did I leave my beacon down there? I did. Well, the beacon is as wide as an assembly machine, so you can see. This way, when we come back through, we're going to need a few beacons on this setup. We're not going to need it fully beaconed. We're not going to have to line this entire thing with beacons. But we will need maybe a quarter of it down the row with beacons, which means it's a hell of a lot cheaper to do it this way than it is going with a fully beaconed setup. So we can do this and use the fact that we didn't spend a whole lot on beacons to get the entire array up and running a lot quicker, which is stupid nice. Stupid nice. Now then, am I out of undergroundy belts? I am out of undergroundy belts. Those things are iron heavy as shit. So let me go build some more underground belts, and we'll get back to it when I do that. Yeah, it takes 80 iron gear wheels to make one underground belt. One blue underground belt takes 80 iron gear wheels. That's a lot. Iron gear wheels costing 2 iron plates a piece, so it takes 160 iron plate to make one gear wheel, or to make, I'm sorry, one underground belt, which that doesn't include what it takes to make a red one, which takes 40. Oh my god. It takes like 300 some iron plate to make one undergroundy belt, one blue undergroundy belt. These fuckers are expensive. Oh, and the cost of the underground belts, I should say, is why we didn't do the weave on the initial smelting setup. It's too expensive to merit on the early game setup. Granted, the red belt undergroundies are cheaper, but not that much cheaper. Oh my god, look at how fast that train went by. Did you see that? Holy fucking shit. Is this gonna be enough? Boy, I hope so. Let's go ahead and get the ore running, assuming I can walk close enough without consuming my entire inventory of underground belts. I can. So the input's right here. I need to stop saying essentially. That's a bad habit. What was I saying last episode? Basically. Basically? Was it? I don't remember. Funny though. I love those words like that. People who don't make YouTube videos don't necessarily understand what that kind of means. Like, it's one of those words that you use. Those words in general are like your thinking words, right? Different people have different thinking words. Words that they say when they're like thinking, actually. Like is a thinking word. If somebody is saying like a lot in a sentence, or in some cases swearing a lot, it's because they're thinking. They're trying to figure out what to say next. Just one of those curious human things, if you didn't know about that. People have thinking words that they use when they're talking. That's how they buy time. Is another one. Is a word that you shouldn't use. BT dubs. If you use you should really try and work it out of your vocabulary. You'd be surprised the effect that it has. It makes you sound a lot smarter. I mean, not that you're not smart. I'm sure you're brilliant. But if you work out your thinking words, or at least realize what your thinking words are in normal conversation, you can learn a lot about yourself. You can figure out what you do to think and where in certain sentences you stop to think. And that's not an invaluable, or it's not a valueless, is that a word? Valueless? Is that a way to say that? Thing to know about. I mean, like at a job interview or anywhere in life that you might need to use thinking words that you wouldn't necessarily know that you're using. If you know that you're using them, you have a little bit of an advantage. You got a leg up on the next guy, you know what I'm saying? Alright, get rid of all these undergroundy belts. Oh, did you see that? Fucking Blue Angels formation right there. Holy shit, did I have enough? I've got 5 left in my inventory. Are they gonna go away? No, I think... Holy fuck. We had just enough by 5. Now, blue inserters, on the other hand, that's a whole different story. We're still short blue inserters by... hold on. How many does it say? 43. I guess I could have just moused over this and it would have told me. I'm missing 43 blue inserters. Oh, I haven't restarted production on those either. That's not great. Not great at all. Alright, so that is the entire array built. It isn't power poled, and I don't have enough power poles to power pole it, so that's a thing, I guess. Oh, so the advantage of the weave, if it wasn't apparent before, is so that when you put a beacon on here, beacons have the same range, I think, as these power poles. They do. So a beacon has the same range as the power poles, but it can't get as close, right? So a beacon, I guess it can get as close, actually. That's where the edge of the beacon would be. You'll notice that the coverage is on that left furnace that I'm standing next to. I can zoom in a little bit. This furnace here, this left one, the coverage goes just to that. That's why you do a weave, is so when you have your beacons running along both sides of the furnace array, beacons on both sides are touching furnaces in the middle. So there's no like, it's more efficient for beacon usage. So your beacons touch everything in the array that they can. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, it should. You get what I'm saying. I'm just going to power pull this whole setup, and I'm not going to try and make a conversation through it all, because you probably don't want to hear me yabber on anymore, do you? Actually, something cool I can do, since I have all the power poles in this array here, this far right array has all the power poles in it. I know we're zoomed out far, just bear with me here. I can take my my little empty blueprint that I've been using for miscellaneous shit. I can just grab this whole thing, and if I put it over this exactly, like so, I should be able to just shift click. I should be able to just... oh, I got to put it over exactly. I can't have it. There it is. No? No? There we go. That's what I wanted. I guess I had all the poles in the other one too. I can just put it over it and shift click, and it'll put all the poles down where I had them in the other ones. So we can keep our power pole situation nice and neat along the entire array. Uh-oh. Was I off by one on that one? Uh-oh. Was I? No, I wasn't. How many are we missing? So we still need 15 inserters and 20 power poles. Fan-fucking-tastic. I love it. And one more time watching the mass drone spread. Yeah, that never gets old. I love watching the drone spread out from you. Look at that. Look at that. Do I have enough power poles? Was that enough? Is that the whole... hold on, we can plug this thing in, essentially. Fucking kilowatts of power being plugged in, but you get what I'm saying. We'll plug this whole array in. Make sure we're a little ways out on that. There we go. Plug the whole array in. Is everything got power? No, that far one doesn't have power. What the hell? Why doesn't that far one have power? It has the same power poles as everything else. What? What? Oh god, it's got inserters where the power poles should be. Whoa, why does it have inserters where power poles should be? This was me missing the blueprint, is what this is. Because I was holding shift, it just overwrites any entities that are there. It basically just doesn't blueprint them, and it puts down whatever it can. So that's why that happened, is because, you know, I was off by a little bit, so it put down inserters instead of power poles. Let's try that again. There we go. There's some powerage. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay. So we've only got the lines of copper coming over here because I didn't want to pull these lines off the train, the other lines of copper and iron, because if I did that, don't get hit by a train. Because if I pulled those lines off and wasn't using them, these train cars right here would stay full, and this train would never leave the station. We can't do that. Matter of fact, we probably can't do that even yet. I will do it just so it sets the stuff that is in each furnace, I think, so we know where everything's at. So we'll just go ahead and throw these on here for just a split second, like so. There we go. So we know what kind of ore we've got going where. This here, we've got 3 lines of iron and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines of copper. That might change. I'm not sure what the exact ratio is on this. This may be completely wrong. I might need to be 5 and 5. I'm not 100% positive. But this is what I could pull from the bus without affecting too terribly much. Okay. So we know where our things are at. We know what kind of output we have. They'll be up there. Yeah. There's all those. Wow, I was really off with that missed blueprint, wasn't I? Look at this. There's a whole row of shit here that doesn't need to be here. That's cute. Now, how do we bring these into assemblers? I'm not 100% positive the best way to do this, so I may just go by the seat of my pants. I'm looking at my map now and considering how I want to bring these into the assemblers. So you could use like a main bus style, like we did in the main base. Like I said, you'll have circuit production about the size of the main base once you get it up and running. And I guess I was pretty close to right. It will be similar size, just condensed. But we could run main bus. Maybe I'll just run it off to the left and ignore the extra space that I've got up top, assuming that the area down below that the furnaces occupy, this much space here vertically, is enough for the production. I think it should be, and given that I'm running them back to the main bus, the circuits that is, I think my best bet is to run them to the left using a main bus on the top. Yeah? Does that sound good to everybody else? Sounds good to me. Fuck it. So we want to start with this side, because it's going to be turning left. You want to start with the inside row, so you're not stacking lines on each other. So we'll start there, and then we'll just bring all this out like so. I probably want to keep it in rows of 4 for the sake of balancing. I'm considering how much I'm going to use in each, and I'm thinking here, and I'm realizing my numbers are odd because I've got 3 and 7. So I could split the iron off into 6 half rows, but I'll still have 7 rows of copper. Maybe I'll just reserve 1 row of copper for like a spot fill wherever we might need it, or I'll split it up amongst the other rows. I think that might be the best bet. I guess we'll have to see when we get there, huh? What is that, 4? That's 4. So we want to go 2 extra spaces up on this. Right there. Mainly for my sanity is the reason we're going 2 extra spaces up, by the way. Just to keep me sane. Should have actually considered that from the other side before I did this. Because we've got 10 here and 4 rows means there's going to be an extra, or a dead 2 lanes, basically. I guess we'll just run 3 in this one and 3 in the top one. That should be alright. Sorry, we'll go to me being done with this, huh? Coincidentally, how I ran the 10 lanes coming up to this thing, which is no trivial matter, as much as it might seem as it is. I just blueprinted 10 lanes of blue belt, so I could just stamp down the blueprints and walk along and let my drones do the work. Way faster, and I think I actually may do that here, too. Just like this. You just do this blueprint and you just fucking click. Oops. And you try not to click off of where you're trying to go. See how much faster that fucking is? Look at that. That's so much nicer. You do burn power, but given that I've got 2 freaking portable fusion reactors inside of my armored suit, yeah, I don't know how that works with neutrinos and whatnot, but hey, fuck it, I don't care. Yeah. We have pretty much unlimited power for drones. Pretty much. Assuming we don't just go fucking crazy for like 2 hours straight using drones to build. Which I did for the last mine that I built, by the way. Alright, so let us look at green circuits here, being that green circuits are going to be the main thing that we need to worry about. Oh, I should also mention how we're going to build this. As far as what we're going to chunk it out into. So, no, I'm going to start building this. Sorry. Sorry to be all flippy-floppy. We're going to module this. And I don't know the most efficient way to module. However, I'm not really that concerned about it straight out of the gate. So, you need 2 wire units for every circuit that you make. We can use direct insertion. Let's look at the numbers, actually. Sorry, I know it's kind of a numbers game sometimes. You have to really pay attention to it. So there's the coils that you need for the circuits. You'll need an iron plate as well. So, To make 2 copper cables, the coils that we need, it takes 0.5. Okay, fair enough. We require 3 of them, so 0.75 worth of copper cable making to make 1 electric circuit, which requires 0.5. So we're missing time on the copper cables. 33% out on time. What we could do is sorry, talking off mic again, we could adjust the modules to make it so that the circuit machines run slightly faster than the coil machines, meaning that we'll put maybe 4 speed modules in this, and this one will have a production module, which will slow down. Oh no, the other way around. This one the wire will have 4 speed modules in it because we need more wire as far as, production is concerned to keep up with the green circuit production. So this will have 4 speed modules, and the green circuits will have 1 production module in it. And if you remember, the production modules will slow it, and not having the extra speed module will also slow it. So it'll be slowed down 33%. I mean, maybe. 3 of these, 1 of those, 25%. 25% minus 15%. What's the grouping on this? 150%. Yeah, that actually might be just about right. All things considered, that seems oddly perfect. We should probably test that. Granted, it's not going to make a big deal, or it's not going to make too much of a difference if we're off by a little bit, but it'd be nice to be just about right. So let's take this first line of copper here, and we'll just dedicate it to this side. Yeah? Is that alright? Can we do that? I think we can do that. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's just dedicate it to this side here. Just this first line of copper over here. Run this into the machine, direct insert into the electronic circuits, and then we have to run iron to U. So we should be smart about how we split iron now. Because if you remember, we've only got 3 lanes of iron. We have 7 lanes of copper, so like I said, we're gonna cut back 1 lane of copper. So we've got 6 lanes of copper, 3 lanes of iron. So what we can do is we can put a splitter on this, and the splitter will split 50-50. So we can basically make this 3 lines of iron into 6 lines of half iron. Does that make sense? 6 half lines of iron. And given that the ratio is, well, let's see here. It requires 1 copper plate to make 2 of these, so 1.5 copper plates. Is that right? 1.5 copper plates to why did I do that? 1.5 copper plates to 1 iron plate. So we need 50% more copper than we do iron. Yeah, we're about right on ratio there. Oh, I just fucking guessed that too. So yeah, that's about right. About being closer than we need to be for this given thing. It's not going to matter too terribly much as far as efficiency is concerned. It'll still make the product. So we can do, where is that? Oh, something was being damaged. That's not good. We can do a couple things as far as how we run this iron in here. What's the best? Let's go with the cheapest option that takes up a little more space. What do you say to that? I think that's the best bet. Let's go a little bit cheaper. I know that we're using beacon setups for our smelting, but I think I want to go a little bit cheaper on the array itself as far as the production array is concerned. So let's put that right there. Not put that right there because that would be stupid. Bring that out to right there. So just line all this shit up. Put our 1 belt there and put this guy right here. Okay. So now we have our half row there. So next time we have one of these lines, I'll just use this row completely on that line and then use the next rows for the next line. Does that make sense? Because I'm not going to use this copper row for anything except for this line here. Hopefully there's enough room here to use. Oh yeah, there's plenty of fucking room there to use that entire copper line. No question. Considering what I've seen in the base, we're just fine there. I think I can stretch this the whole way. Yes, I can. Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm trying to explain like 6 things at once, and I'm out of fucking belts. I'm not sure if it's working too terribly well. And then we'll have our output. Well, let me go get more belts. Interruptions. We'll have our output right there. So that'll be the output line. This is not space efficient. I could most definitely make a weave here that would make it a lot more space efficient. I don't think I'm going to beacon the circuit production. No. Yes. Fuck. God damn it, Whamo. You should make up your mind about this shit before you start fucking recording. Doing stupid shit like that. Throw some power poles on this thing. Okay. So you can see the kind of production we're going to get as far as circuits are concerned. Now let's go ahead and module this thing according to how I said I would do it before. So straight speed modules on this guy. Look at that thing rip through its circuits. And then this guy here, we will do 1 production module and the rest speed modules. Okay. Grab up this line of circuits here. See, okay, you can see it kind of stuttering there. Sorry, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Hold on, let me zoom up here and get in a better position. So you can see it kind of stutter working. Why do you suppose that is? It is because it is not getting the copper cable that it needs. You'll also notice that the copper cable machine is stutter working, which means that that inserter doesn't have the throughput to push enough cables into the machine. Now, I do not want to use stack inserters here. These green guys, though I do have... Fuck it, let's use stack inserters. Get in there, stack inserter. So stack inserter will alleviate that problem. Stack inserter is moving 3 times as much product as the other inserters will. So that should mean that we have production going 24/7 on you. Not quite. See, now we have a problem getting enough copper plate in there. So let's go ahead and just toss another stack inserter on there. This is why people use... Hello? Oh. This is why people use drones for this. Because it is a much more efficient way to get materials in. Not this problem. This problem is always there. The problem is the line that comes down further. I'll show you in a second. Because this is perfect conditions. Hold on. Let me unload this thing and we'll take a look at how it works again. What is the holdup here? Does this have to do with finished product? Okay. I don't think that the red inserter is fast enough to remove finished product in time to keep up with the production of this particular unit. Yeah. You see, after it hits 10 circuits in the... I know it's small, I'm sorry. After it hits 10 circuits inside the finished queue there, it'll stop producing. And then it'll wait until it has enough room, and then it'll start producing again. Is that what's causing the load up here? Yeah, because then it's not grabbing iron either because it doesn't see that it needs it because it doesn't think that it's working. Yeah, that's what's causing the load up here. So, herein the reason I don't like red inserters. So, because this only requires 1 iron per thing, we get 3 at a time. I think we can use... We can swap some stuff around here. Let's remove this. And let's flip this iron row here. Let's use drones to do this because I don't want to pick all this shit up. Let's flip this iron over to the other side here. And use the red handle inserter to grab the iron. And hopefully the blue inserter is fast enough. I need to not have you doing that. Use the red inserter to grab the iron. Blue inserter gives finished product. So we'll rotate that guy around. And hopefully the red inserter can pull enough iron to make this thing work. Is it not going to happen? Doesn't look like that's going to work. So my bottleneck here is the red inserter. There is another way to fix this problem. Yeah, I think we're not getting enough iron. So I can go ahead and just double up on red inserters. I don't want to do this, but I can do it if I need more. Okay, so that should solve our iron problem. We're getting enough iron in there. Yes, we are. We are removing enough circuits. Let's see if it goes past 6 at all. It doesn't seem to be going past 6, so we're getting enough circuits. The stack inserter can grab enough copper. Oop, there was a little hiccup. Oop, slight hiccups. Now that's loading up. Okay. That might be the production module causing hiccups. Once it produces that extra product, it can't quite get it out fast enough. Oh, maybe not. Nope, that's copper. That's copper cabling. Sorry, I'm watching this. I'm seeing what you guys are saying, and I'm just trying to work with it here. That's the speed of the copper cable coming in here. See how fast you're producing. Yeah, see how fucking fast that thing is? Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, the bottleneck is copper cable. So, let's go ahead and take one of the speed modules out. Oop, need to make sure I'm grabbing off the line while we're doing this. So we take one of those speed modules out, you see it has no problem whatsoever with one production module. I could put another production module in there, but it'll slow it down again. I'm not quite sure we want to do that. It does produce at a good pace, though. What do you think? Do you think we keep 2 production and 2 speed modules in there? What does that give for an overall effect? So it still has a 70% speed bonus, and it gains the 20% productivity bonus. So you basically get 20% free product out of this thing. 20% of the circuits that come out of this machine come out of fucking thin air. Absolutely free. No cost. Looks like we'll be able to use blue inserters over here, too. Let's try and do this. We'll slow it down a little bit at the hope of reducing cost of inserters to put stuff in it. So let's see if that works. That doesn't work at all. No. We still need the stack inserters in there. The blue inserters just aren't fast enough. Not even close. They just don't move enough product. Okay, we also need the second red inserter. We could fix this by doing a weave on the iron plate, but I'm not entirely sure that that's worth it as far as cost of underground belts. Yep. Nope. I think this is what we're gonna do. I may have to rebuild this setup later if I don't like how it works, but You know, let's make sure that that blue inserter over there is enough to keep up with the requirement for copper cable. It doesn't matter if this is hiccuping production. This assembly machine can hiccup as far as production is concerned, so long as the circuit machine continues full production. And it looks like we're loading up on copper cable, so I think it's fine. Just gonna watch it for a second. Because it was loaded up, it looks like the numbers are going down. We'll see if we get a hiccup here. Slight hiccup. Because of the speed of the blue inserter on the copper side. That's what's causing... God, I grabbed a lot of green circuits doing that. That was the cause of the hiccup there. So, this works. It's not the most efficient way to do it, and there's probably a better way too, but... Why did I put that there? I don't need that. But it does work. Yeah. Let's flush out this array here and see what happens. Yeah. So there's 4 of them bad boys. Let's unload them up and hope I have room in my inventory to grab all these circuits and see if they can saturate that blue belt. Gotta unload them first. That's a fake saturation there. Okay, that should be unloaded, I think. Yeah, we're unloaded there. So maybe one more grouping of those machines will saturate one side of the belt. Is that a good guess? No. Shit, those machines there are damn near saturating the belt. So one more grouping of machines will saturate this belt. That's not the right blueprint. Almost unquestionably. Where's that blueprint? Blueprint. Boop. And I have the resources to do that? Holy fucking nutsacks, I do. Cool. Okay. The copper line can supply that. We know that. However, given that it takes 1.5 copper plates to supply one circuit production, I can know for a fact that one line of copper is not going to equal one line of circuits. It's going to be down 30% because it simply can't do that. But I think we're going to run out of iron before we do that. So, yeah, what do I have for modules left? I can make a few more of these things. Let's give it a little bit of a space. Throw another one down here. And let's give it a little bit of a gap. Let's give it a 4 gap. 4 gap. Put down 1. And see how many of these I can do. 2. 3. Do I have the modules for that? Oh, fuck yeah. Throw down a 4th one. Taking note that bottom one there doesn't have the moduling required. Okay. So we'll bring the iron down. We'll bring the copper down. Okay, and I left this gap so we could do a little switcheroo on this belt so we're pushing stuff to a different side. We need to run this one into this one. Like so. There we go. Okay. So that just makes room on this line for another assembly. So we see how much room we have down below it still. That's good. That's a definite plus. That's a very expensive cost in modules, but it should be okay. Let me throw down a chest and we'll run this line out one more time. I know. Sorry. Let me throw down a chest here. We'll throw all these circuits in this freaking chest. There we go. I could put an inserter down and just start grabbing these circuits, but it wouldn't be fast enough. So we're just going to grab them by hand, unload this line, and see how much we produce, given that we need to remember that we don't have a full line of copper coming through here, do we? Yeah, we do. We do have a good copper line. We don't have a good iron line, so iron is empty. Great. Great. Fantastic. Fantabulous. Wait for iron plate production to kick back up. Let's see how much iron plate we actually have coming out of these furnaces now. Let's see what kind of production we get. So there you go. That's how much production we're going to get out of this furnace array unbeaconed, or unmoduled even. So you'll notice that's probably not quite a full belt. Yep. That's probably something more like 40% of a full belt, if even that. So we will need a few beacons on this array to make it have full output, but that's okay. We're going to let this guy load up just a second so I can actually thoroughly test this thing. That should be iron fully loaded up. Man, I wish I had a proper way to test iron here. I need a way to cut this output in half. Well, a red belt, if I had one, would give me a good idea of the speed, but I don't have a red belt on me. There's no real way to... yes, there is a way to do it. I can cut this output in half. Okay. So don't mind this little bit of trickery here that we're going to do. We're going to cut the output of this belt in half so that we can accurately gauge whether or not it's enough to supply this line with its actual throughput. Because it's only going to give half. There's going to be more of these taking up more iron. So you're only going to give half. Okay. That's correct. That is a correct amount. Suck all that iron off the line there. Put all those circuits into that thing. Make sure we remove all the iron. Okay. So this thing is proper loaded up. It's going to take a minute to unload it, But I've got the inflow, I think, to make sure we can do that. Maybe not, but it should be close. Alright, let's unload this thing and see what kind of resource drain we have and if it's close. I know it's going to be small, but I have to do it like this, sorry. So we'll watch this bottom machine here and see how long it takes for it to unload all of its circuits. And you'll notice already it's waiting on iron plates. Okay, it's waiting on iron plates. The top machines are getting iron. Okay, so we might need to do a row of each. How is my math that far off? Am I an idiot? Well, that tells us how many machines we can supply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roughly. We'll say 6 for the sake of keeping me sane. We'll say 6. So we'll do 3. I'm going to switch this setup around so we have 3 groupings of machines. The flip, and then 3 more machines. This might have been overkill here. Also, let me just show you here. Let's see how many circuits are in this chest here. So there's 3,600 that I just grabbed out of there. That right there is the cost of making one of those satellites. Roughly. Give or take. That's a lot of fucking circuits. But, for a production array like this, it's really kind of not a lot of circuits. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm getting at here? Like so. Bingo bango. Connect everything up. And we will once again... do I have the room for it? Where'd my chest go? Where'd my chest go? Where'd my chest at? Ah, well, fuck, it's in the way. We will once again suck this line dry and watch it again and see if we can't figure out what the resource usage is on it. Let it unload here real quick. Watch this bottom machine. Okay. I would say it's fairly unloaded. This bottom machine is anyway. And you see what kind of line throughput we get there. Okay. I guess that's about what I expected out of that half line of iron. Yeah? Something like that coming out of the bottom of this? Yeah, that's alright. So let's just take this line, ignoring trains for the moment, and run it all the way the hell back to our base. And insert it into the circuit line. This is a fucking mess. I love everything about this, by the way. This makes me happy in my heart. Makes me so fucking happy in my heart. Okay. There is our green circuits. Oh, slow down, green circuits. Don't need you down here quite yet. Hold on. Let's run the red circuits up one. There we go. 2 rows of green circuits. Granted, that runs across the entire fucking map, but hey. 2 rows of green circuits this far down. Nice. Very nice. That should mean we can up our production of a couple things, which we won't worry too much about right now, because look at this. The rocket is ready to launch, and it doesn't have its fucking satellite in it. Alrighty. Let's make the satellite then. You gotta finish the science when you start it, right? I had to make an entire new production array. I might have to finish that production array up there, actually, which is gonna require a hell of a lot more work. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna have to finish that production array for the satellite. You know what? Let's just botch together. Let's botch together a satellite and launch one of these so I can say I fucking did it. What do you say about that? Well, just you make a satellite. Look at that list of ingredients to make a satellite. Sorry, this is for me to get shit out of my inventory. Alright, there's 100 processing units. You also need 100 low-density structures. 80, 90. 100 low-density structures. Awesome. Awesome blossom. 50 of the rocket fuels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50 of those. 100 solar panels, 100 accumulators, right? Yep, and 5 radars. The radars I can do easy. Those are simple. I gotta sit here and make the solar panels and accumulators. You may be wondering why I'm doing this way instead of just, you know, actually doing it right. Well, yeah. We have to get blue circuit production going up on the circuit factory up yonder way, and that's a bit of an issue. It's going to be a bit of an issue, and it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be quite an endeavor. It'll be something. There's all that crap. Dunzo dunzo. And satellite. That thing's spendy. Don't drop that thing. Don't drop that at all. Don't drop that dun-da-da. Alright, throw this satellite in there. Rocket inventory is satellite. I can launch other shit in there, I'm pretty sure. So now you see, it says there in the description, the satellite should be put into the rocket launch products, 1K, white science. Fan-fucking-tastic. Let's hit this launch button and watch this shit go, shall we? You ready? Launch button! Oh yeah. We're gonna launch this bitch. Oh, it's noisy. I didn't realize how noisy this was. Fan-fucking-tastic. Look at that thing. That's quite the rocket-looking thing there, isn't it? Look at it go. Look at it go. Fancy. Let's follow it up. Follow it up. Hey, buddy. Go, buddy, go. Freedom! Bye, rocket. All right. Well, that was fun. Game finished. We're not done, though. we still got a lot of fucking work to do. Guys, thank you for joining me today. We have a lot to do on the circuit production. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. I'm using a lot. Hopefully I didn't reuse a bunch of words again. Look at the kills, though. Look at that. I killed 3,800 trees. Look at the biter kills. Look at that. Killed 35,000 big spitters, and it took me nearly 70 hours to complete this. Granted, I did a lot of setup in there, but you know how it goes. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If I didn't say it before, I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode.